What's the latest on AI-generated video? What are the tax implications of earning money from selling images online? And what's a good checklist of AI errors to watch for? I'll cover these questions and more in this new Q&A update. First, what's the latest on submitting AI-generated video in Adobe Stock? At the recent Adobe Max conference, Adobe product managers showed off some impressive demos of AI generative fill on video footage, proving that AI capabilities in video have come a long way, and they could soon be available as part of Adobe Firefly and perhaps built into its software suite. So I've been asked, is Adobe Stock now accepting AI-generated video? And the answer seems to be, not just yet. I haven't seen anything announced by Adobe, and regardless, as of right now, when you upload video, there's no checkbox asking if what you're submitting was generated by AI, as appears when you're submitting images. At the very least, that will be an indicator of when AI video will be accepted at Adobe Stock. So as of today, the answer remains, not just yet. Does Adobe have a maximum ratio of rejections to accepted content? Of course, you want to keep the ratio as low as possible. For example, I'm primarily submitting non-AI content right now, and I have about 1 rejection for every 100 images I upload. But is there a maximum rejection per upload ratio? I don't think such a ratio exists, or at least I've never seen one. The Adobe Forum discussed this recently, and the consensus seemed to be that you want to have lower than 50% for a rejection rate. That's not an official answer, but probably a common sense one. If you're getting more than 50% rejections, and I'd say even more than 10% rejections, you may want to pause on uploading more content, figure out what's getting you rejected, and make the appropriate fixes before uploading more. There are some common AI-related errors to watch for, and I've actually compiled a new list of them. More on that later. Next, how do you pay taxes on your Microstock income? Now, I would never pretend to be a tax expert, and it can be different for every country. Most of the agencies require you to upload your tax documentation, or they'll take out mandatory amounts for tax withholdings. As a US-based stock contributor myself, the agencies are not withholding taxes from my earnings. Instead, I must report my Microstock earnings as taxable income on my own. The first year I reported, I had to pay a sizable amount on my tax return I filed in April, and then I had to pay estimated taxes on earnings every quarter after that. These are due every April, June, September, and January 15th, or the Monday after if the 15th falls on a weekend. It's calculated on how much you had to pay the prior year in taxes, so if you know your earnings will grow significantly, you should increase your estimated tax payments accordingly. Now, if you actually get your payments through PayPal, that service will report the money it pays to you on its own 1099 form it submits to the IRS. I'm thinking that I'll cover this in more detail on a special tax-focused video later, so watch for that soon. What's the best way to keyword my images or videos? Now, I've covered this in a few videos before, so you can find some good ideas on keywording in those. Just check out the video library on my channel. And I also covered extensively in a new course that I just posted, as well as a book I wrote to go along with the course. You can get that by following the link in the description below. A few people have asked me how I create images for some of the top-selling themes that I regularly report on my channel. Here's the advice that I've shared on this question. If you wanted to create content on, say, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which has been my top-selling topic for most of this year, consider showing things like people of different colors holding hands or seated around a table, either at a gathering of family and friends or around an office conference table. You can do this in a real-world setting for photos and video, or illustrate it with simplistic vector or 3D illustrated people, and perhaps they could be gathered around the word diversity to drive the message home. Then when you keyword the images and videos you created, be sure to include the words and phrases on those concepts, like for the diversity vector, be sure to use diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, DEI, DEIB, together, peace, harmony, acceptance, etc. And finally, as I mentioned earlier in the video, many people submitting AI content to Adobe are seeing images rejected based on quality, given as the reason for the rejection. This can be due to a number of factors. The most obvious one is on technical grounds, like resolution or noise. You've got to make sure that you're properly zooming in on your images in Photoshop or other image editing software looking for any kind of technical imperfections. Next, you need to check really closely for errors that Midjourney and other programs can make in the small details. Things like too many or not enough fingers or hands, missing legs on tables or chairs, or wheels on vehicles, gibberish text or numbers on signs or clocks. There's quite a long list of things that can go wrong, and I'm making it available in the next issue of my newsletter you can get by signing up at microstocklife.beehive.com. Check it out and let me know if you think I missed anything. So that wraps up this Q&A update. Be sure to leave some questions you'd like me to cover the next time in the comments. A moment ago, I referenced the course and book I recently put online, and I'll leave you with a closer look on that. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Are you ready to start earning passive income by selling photography, AI images, or videos online? Want to know what sells and how to sell it? This is the perfect course for you because I'm sharing what I've learned selling images and videos online for more than 15 years. I'll show you the steps I took to figure out what customers really need in photos, illustrations, footage, and now AI images. That's what makes this course different. It's all about exploring what really sells and what doesn't, how to figure out what customers want, the best agencies to sell your work, and much more. This course can help you no matter your current skill level. If you're totally new to selling images and videos online, or if you have some experience and want to grow. Here's what you'll learn. How to get an edge on the competition like I did. A list of 100 hot selling topics from my experience. The list of agencies you should join and my tips for success at each one. How you should title and keyword your images and videos to maximize your sales. How to use AI tools like Midjourney and ChatGPT to help you create and keyword images. And many more topics that I believe are essential to understand if you want to sell your work online today. The course includes a free download of my book that details all the topics I cover, with a special section on the leading agencies and what you need to know about each one. The course includes more than 20 modules so you can learn at your own pace. Each section includes golden rules you must follow to succeed, plus actionable steps you can take right away to start selling. Pair these tips with the list of high-selling subjects that I'll share with you, and you'll be ready to upload great images and videos that buyers can easily find and purchase. So I'm going to be arming you with the tools that help me succeed, making this the course to take if you don't just want to learn what stock photography is, but how to approach it like a business and get up and selling quickly. So let's get started.